All right, here we go. This is a difficult time because a lot of people get caught up in emotion during the holidays. It's a very difficult time because you have to be able to have the spirit of discerning. And we're going to talk about that briefly. You need to have the spirit of discerning. Now, the spirit of discerning is something you can pray for. And God will give you that spirit. Because most of the mistakes that we make in life is because we do it without the wisdom and the discerning of God through the Holy Ghost. Does that make sense? And so it's very important right now because, people get a little sentimental now. And all through the holidays, people who never spoke to you before will speak to you until Christmas is gone. You all know how that is. Everybody gets lovey-dovey during the holidays. That's how it is. Folks open doors for people and good morning, right? And you wait till January and you'll be opening that door yourself. That's just how that works, right? And people who break up and they broke up, they'll try to get back together because they're listening to all that Christmas music, go steam vibes, all that kind of stuff, and then fall apart in February. Right? No, that's true, because they get caught up in emotion. So what you have to do is learn to discern everything. Credit cards will be off the chain. Folks will buy things because they feel guilty and they think that they got to buy this and buy that, right? And so they put them on that 17, 18, 15% interest on their credit cards. I've never, and especially parents buy stuff because they act like they owe the children something. I've never figured, you owe me something. But that's what it happens to us. And the commercials are going, you see all these commercials, and everything's going, but you have to have the discerning to discern what you need and what you need not to do. All right? And even people invite people to their houses, parties and these kind of things, and they invite the wrong people sometimes. And so, but the discerning spirit will tell you. And so we want to talk about that briefly. Discerning means
to see or understand the difference.
So you need to see and understand the difference. That means you need to really take a good look at what you're looking at. You really need to be careful of what you're feeling and why you're feeling it. All right?
Discern means to make distinction between good and evil.
And here's where the problem is. When you say good and evil, people think evil is easy to discern. No, it's not. Sometimes evil can look good. And you all have been taught in this church, there's two things. There's a God thing and there's a good thing. And sometimes you do a good thing instead of a God thing, and that thing will turn around with you. You understand what I'm saying? And you will say later on, I thought I was doing a good thing. And look how it turned out. Y'all with me? So you have to discern, is this a God thing I'm getting ready to do? You make sense? All right?
It means to make the distinction between truth and falsehood.
And you have to make the decision between truth and falsehood. You remember when you were a kid, she loves me not, she loves me, she loves me not. When you're throwing those flowers up there, you don't want to go through life like that.
Right.
Huh? You need to make sure that you know the difference between the truth and falsehood. And Satan is the Bible says he is who's the most elite. Satan's job is he comes to kill, to steal, and to destroy. You understand what I'm saying? And so we're going to talk about it here in a minute. It'll make sense to you why Pastor is really on this discerning. We'll go to the Proverbs.
Turn to Proverbs chapter 4. I'm going to read verse 23 to 27 from the NIV. The first thing he says is, above all else, guard your heart. Yeah? The word says, above all else, guard what? Your heart.
Because, see, Satan can get into your heart, evil can get into your heart, and you not know what's there. Do you understand? And so we're to guard our heart. Now the Bible wouldn't have told us to guard our heart if there wasn't going to, if there's not a reason, if there wasn't a reason for us to guard our heart. And we're going to find out here in a minute why it's very important for you to guard your heart. You know, have you ever fell in love with the wrong person? Have you ever gave a loan to the wrong person? Okay. Have you ever let people in your space that shouldn't have been there? Right? Because you didn't guard your heart. And people say, well, my heart is broken. Well, if your heart was broken, you put the broken person in there to break it. You see? Because everybody that smiles at you is not really for you. Does that make sense? And this is what we need to teach our young people. You got to guard your heart. Okay?
And guard means to secure against injury.
You got to be careful because you can get your heart injured. And many of you are sitting in here know what I'm talking about. You have been bruised and wounded and your heart has been broken. And you're still living it. You're still living that pain. Because you didn't guard your heart. You may not have known to guard your heart. Does that make sense? All right.
It also means to secure against loss or attacks.
You've got to secure your heart against what?
Loss or attacks.
Because Satan is going to attack what?
Your heart.
Your heart. Because if he can get to your heart, he got you. You see, how many of you like sports in here?
Amen.
When you watch a game of any kind, it's football season now. When you watch a game of any kind, you can see when the other team's heart lost their heart. Once they lose their heart, they're done. You can see, and you can watch it, and some of us watched football yesterday. I watched K-State yesterday. And I'm looking at them because I like that coach because he's older than me. And anybody older than me, I'm in their corner. Right? They're still doing something, right? And I watched them, and they were ahead in the game by 20 points or something like that, and just fell apart. And you could look at them when the team started getting close to them, they lost their heart. And look at me, look at my mouth and what I'm saying. And when you lose your heart, you'll fall apart.
That's right.
When you lose your heart, you'll fall apart. How many people in here, don't raise your hands, you can have an addiction, and you can fight that addiction, and you can really be doing good, and then something can happen, and emotionally, and it can get to you, and it gets in your heart, and you fall apart, and you go right back to that very thing that imprisoned you. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So you got to be careful. See, have you ever had someone that you said, I'm through with this person, and I'm through with this person, and you didn't guard your heart, and later on, you let that person back in, and they done the same thing that they done before, and it broke your heart. That's what I like to guard our heart. Okay?
To guard also means to protect, to defend.
You got to protect your heart. You have to protect your heart. And defend some of the things. And keep it safe. Got to do that. Alright? Here we go.
And the Bible tells us to guard our heart because everything you do flows from it.
Everything you do flows from your heart. Hate, love, compassion, envy, all comes from your heart. Do you understand? See, we have to guard our heart. See, sometimes you have to guard your heart. Have you ever got in a conversation with somebody and you were talking, and they were talking about this, and you were talking to that person, and you got caught up into what they got caught up into, and the next thing you were doing was gossiping about somebody. Because you didn't guard your heart. Does that make sense?
We're told to keep our mouth free of perversity.
See, we're told to keep our mouth free of that. But if you don't guard your heart, here it comes. And you wind up in a conversation about somebody, gossiping, saying things about somebody that you really didn't even know anything about. You gotta be careful with that. Okay?
The Bible tells us to keep corrupt talk far from our lips.
And it tells us to keep corrupt talk from it because it comes out of your heart. You know, there used to be a saying years ago, I'm just taking my time because I can't. There used to be a saying years ago, a person that gets drunk is really telling more truth.
Well,
They just had to get drunk and they had the courage to say it. You know what, right? Because they didn't have enough heart till that alcohol got in there. And then they would say something, and then they'd say, oh, you know, I was drinking, I didn't mean that. Yes, I've heard that many, many times and seen it in action. Do you understand what I'm talking about? All right?
It says, let your eyes look straight ahead.
And Jesus even told us, look, neither look to the left or the right. Didn't he tell us that?
That's right.
And then he told us, don't even look back. So this is where we at, folks. Here we go.
Fix your gaze directly before you.
You need to watch out what you're looking at. See, you can look at things that will influence you, and those things get in your heart, and it influences you to do something you ain't got no business doing. You understand that? Y'all act like y'all don't understand it. I'm just going to be kind of, you know, when I was a kid, you know, the TVs were black and white TVs, and everybody had heroes, you know, and in them days, there was no African Americans on TV, so I was going to be hopping on casket. Yeah, so he was my hero, you see, and so we would make little wooden guns, and we would run around, and we would shoot at each other with wooden guns. Is that right? And then we used to have, if we want to get tall, we'd make stilts. We'd get up on those things. Because we were playing, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. We'd see something that would influence us to do something.
That's right.
All right, since y'all don't get it, that's what pornography does.
Right.
That's what R-rated movies do. So you should have talked, I wouldn't win it. So all of this stuff, you got to be careful, because once it gets in your eyes, it gets in your heart, and you wind up doing something you thought you would never do. You understand? All right. Are we learning? Yes. We're not going to be long. You know, see, that's why some people didn't make it here. This morning, it was in their heart. There will be 7 inches of snow out there. Right? But the weatherman told us it wouldn't be like that until after 11, right? And so this is why y'all here. Because you all got a good heart, and you wanted to come to church and get you a lesson, right? And so you had the heart to be here. You see, and God's going to protect you and get you home safe. Right? All right, so here we go.
The Bible says in verse 26, to give careful thought to the paths for your feet.
Be careful where you're walking. Be careful how you're walking, and be careful where you're stepping. Do you understand? All right? The Bible's trying to teach us. See, I've always said, if it's not going to teach me in my life, what am I reading for? I got to be very careful where I'm walking and what path I'm walking in. Okay?
Then we're told to be steadfast in all our ways.
Be steadfast in all our ways. Nothing worse than a wishy-washy person. You either all you ain't. All right?
Do not turn to the right or to the left. Keep your foot from evil.
Don't look here. Don't look here. Keep your foot from evil. And higher calling in Christ Jesus. All right, here we go. Now this is the one that I really want you to get, okay?
We're told in Proverbs 23, verse 7, that for as he thinketh in his heart, so is he.
And when people, I've seen preachers do it, and this is a very powerful scripture. So is a woman thinketh in her heart, so is she. So is a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. But here's what he's talking about here. Go ahead.
Eat and drink, said he to thee.
He says, come over to my house and eat and drink.
But his heart is not with thee.
But his heart is not with thee. That's why you got to have discernment. There's some people, here's what this means, because you all ain't getting it. They'll invite you to their house, but they got something else planned for you. Right? You got your teenagers in here, you need to teach them that. Yeah, you gotta teach, that's big. All right, come on over here. You see, we're just going to hang around a little bit. We ain't going to do anything. You see, the next thing you know, somebody is pulling out a joint. Right? Oh yeah, I know about that. And so the next thing, you caught up in it. Right? Because somebody else done it. You see, I had the first time, I'll tell you my story. I was 16, I think I was 16, maybe 15, 16 years old. And so we was all hanging out. And in Kansas, you could buy alcohol at 18 when I was a kid, you know. And so the older kids had it. And, you know, I knew better than drinking at 16. And they had peppermint schnapps and slow gin. All right? Right, yeah. All y'all done drunk peppermint schnapps and slow gin. And so I'm drinking this down, Brother Nathan, just drinking it, because it tastes sweet. It tastes like pop. I got sicker than a dog. And I was in the car, in my daddy's car, because I didn't want to go in the house. You could smell it from a mile away, right? And he did not have to do anything. He didn't have to say anything or do anything because he knew by looking at me how sick I was. All right? I bounced up peppermint snobs and slow gin for 3 days. All because, come on here now, all because I went to somebody's house, and once you got to somebody's house, and then you can't be no punk now. Come on here. Yeah. I can drink as much as anybody else I've been here. Right? And that's what happens to me, okay? You understand what I'm talking about? If the Bible's not going to help you with your life, it's not going to help you with anything else. This is where it starts. It starts with, I'm going to have him to read that again. I'll just read it. You got to be careful, be able to discern. Listen to me very careful. When somebody invites you someplace, you need to discern what's behind it. We got some young ladies in here. Young ladies, you need to be careful with this scripture here. You need to learn this scripture here. Is what is behind them saying, why don't you come over? My parents are gone. All right, you understand that? Guess why I'm a genius at this? Ask me why. I have a 55-year-old. For this very reason. Young lady came over to my house. We were moving, so we was in 2 houses. So I went to the other house that we was moving out of. You see, and that's how Alan feels here to this day. So I know what I'm talking about. And she knew I was a nice guy, good actor, nice guy, talking sweet. Came over to my house. See what I'm talking about? This is why the Bible tells us, be careful when somebody says something good to you. Sometimes when somebody says something good to you, you need to check it because you know you ain't all that. Come on here. Yeah, you need to say, no, I know he lying. Because I don't look that good to me. And she tried, no, I'm telling you, hey, if you get this, everybody is saying something good about you, there's a reason behind that. And sometimes you need to know what's in that person's heart when they invite you to the show, when they invite you to the house. You better know what's in their heart. Do you know they can be a good friend? They got something behind it. So we got that? Yes. Here we go. Am I doing all right? Yes. I was out yesterday working with. We got a nurse in here? Nurse, she's coming. She's coming. Only 2 men. The rest of you step back. David got it. Okay. She'll work. She'll take care of that. All right. Now the rest of you go in prayer. Good. The nurse will take care of you. I'm glad you're here, huh? Yeah. Yeah, we're glad that. That's why we have nurses in here. Huh? All right, here we go. You with me? Get back with me now. All right. This is what I'm talking about, okay?
Turn to Philippians chapter 4. I'm going to read this story until he says to stop. And the voice says, "For this reason, brothers and sisters, my joy and crown, whom I dearly love."
All right.
I cannot wait to see you again.
I would want Paul to say this about Christ of the North. All right?
Continue to stand firm in the Lord and follow my instructions in this letter, beloved.
This is going to be good. And see, this is good. That's why I like this one. Because we always think men are having issues. Here we go.
He says, "Rita and Cinchi, I urge you to put aside your differences."
These 2 women were getting into it in the church. All right?
He says, "Agree and work together in the Lord."
And he's telling them, hey, y'all got a good church over here at Christ Temple North, but there's a couple of women that's falling out with each other, and you need to talk to them and get them back into working with each other. He's talking to churches, because most of these issues happen in churches. All right?
Yes, Sigus, loyal friend. I enlist you to please help these women.
And he said to somebody, don't fuss at them, help them. Okay?
They, along with Brother Clement and many others, have worked by my side to spread the good news of the gospel.
And this is what I wanted to talk about today. I would like to see Christ Temple North grow. Ask me why. Because there are people who need this ministry. But the reason they don't come to this church is because the people in the pews are not preaching the gospel. You all need to take it up on your own and start looking for some people to bring to church. You see, most of you are dating these guys that won't come, all women. Well, they don't get nothing out of that. All right.
It says they have their names recorded in the book of life.
Now, they're saved, but they got some issues going on. All right?
Most of all, friends, always rejoice in the Lord. I never tire of saying it. Rejoice.
This is what we want to do. I'm taking it slow. Because I want you to rejoice. You know, this, my voice is kind of, my voice is like this because Sister Gwen and I were out there putting up stuff. And I have cleaned stuff up and all this, But I rejoice that we have a house with a door that you can hang something on. Amen to that? Amen. All right, so we can rejoice in the Lord. There should be more joy in these households.
That's right.
We should be doing more rejoicing, I'm telling you. There will be a whole lot more of this in Christians' lives, all right?
Amen. He says, keep your gentle nature.
And this is what I'm talking about. Keep your what?
Gentle nature.
We need to be more gentle in these households. We need to be more gentle with the people around us. Be gentle with people, okay?
So that all people will know what it looks like to walk in His footsteps.
Some people don't know how Jesus walked unless they look at us. So we're supposed to act like Christ so people can walk like we walk because we're walking like Christ. Do you understand? So we're going to do this in Christ Temple North and fill this church up. All right?
The Lord is ever present with us.
And let the Lord be in presence with us. But you all know that there's people watching you in here. All right?
So don't be anxious about things.
Don't get anxious about things.
Instead, pray.
Pray about it. Is this right for me? Is he right for me? Is she right for me? Should I buy this house? Should I downsize? Should I invest here? Pray about everything. All right?
Exactly. Pray about everything.
Okay. But pray about everything. All right?
He longs to hear your requests.
God wants to hear your requests.
So talk to God about your needs and be thankful for what is coming.
Talk to God about your needs and be thankful for what is going on. God ain't going to do nothing for you or to you that He's not going to bless you through. He's going to bless you through it. The most blessings I ever got is when there was something that I didn't want to deal with. And at the end of the road, a blessing came. All right?
And know that the peace of God, a peace that is beyond any and all of our human understanding.
And the peace of God will be with you. Here's what I want to do. Am I y'all's pastor? Yeah. I want everybody in every household to start praying for the peace of God to rule their house. Can we do that?
Yeah.
All right.
The Bible says that this peace will stand watch over your hearts and minds in Jesus.
See, this will stand and watch over you. If you got this in the families, husbands and wives won't have no issues. Children won't have any issues because you want to have the peace of God in your home. Quit being afraid of that. I pray for the peace of God every day in my household. You see? Because I want that peace. I want to be able to live with peace. All right? Turn the TV off. They're going to do what they're going to do. Turn it off and have peace. All right?
Finally, brothers and sisters, fill your minds with beauty and truth.
Fill your mind with beauty and truth. Some of you all sit with some people in here, right? Just look at them and say, I see the beauty in you. I see the beauty. I see the beauty. You want to hear something good or something sad? Sad first? Some people never even been told that ever. That's okay. They can come to church and hear it.
The Bible says to meditate on whatever is honorable.
And it tells me to meditate on whatever is honorable.
Whatever is right.
Whatever is honorable. Is it honorable how you talk to your wife? Is it honorable how you talk to your husband? Is it honorable how you talk to your children? Is it honorable how you talk to your mother? Is it honorable how you talk to your father? All right.
Meditate on whatever is right.
Meditate on whatever is right.
Whatever is pure.
Whatever is pure.
Whatever is lovely.
Whatever is lovely.
Whatever is virtuous and praiseworthy.
That's what I meditate on. What did you meditate on? Don't love me?
Yes.
Here's what? Tonight, or tomorrow, this week, when you go through this 8 and sit down as a family and read it, pray for it, and let this be your household. Can you do that?
Yes.
Don't lie now. You gotta do this, right? Here we go. Let this and you can get out of here.
It says, keep to the script.
Keep to the Bible.
Whatever you learned and received and heard and saw in me,
Paul said, whatever you heard and see and saw in his writings,
do it.
do it.
And the God of peace will walk with you.
And see the God of peace will walk with you.
Amen.
Come on, give him a hand.